right, sitting here with Onke Duku. Congratulations on your win. Obviously, you had a draw before. You wanted to get some redemption. You managed to knock out Faraday Mukandile. Happy with the result?
Yeah, I'm definitely happy with myself. Hey, yeah, I'm definitely happy. At least I got to redeem myself, just to prove that at first he was fighting a young and unmatured Onke, but now I'm the general. I do the hitting now. Hey.
You've campaigned around. You've moved around. You've gone to a lot of different cities. You boxed pretty much everywhere. How was today's venue?
Today's venue was actually the best. I think I like the comfortability of the ring as well. I think it also helped me to produce that knockout out there. In other places, sometimes the quality of the ring sometimes disappoints us as boxers. But overall, everything, the organization, I think it was perfect.
Getting in there with Faraday, did you imagine that the result was going to go as it went?
Yeah, definitely. From the last day when we talked about the plan of the fight, I think my coach made sure that I take the lose out of my head. So the lose was not something that I was afraid of, but what I was afraid of was when I'm going to get the knockout. So the actual plan was to actually knock him out. That was the plan coming into the fight.
You've traveled to Russia before as well to fight. Fighting in South Africa must be a bit better than that.
I think fighting in overseas is kind of challenging. Traveling when you're underweight, hey, it's something else. Fighting locally is one of the best. I get to win and go and celebrate my win with my family. Yeah. That's the best part of it.
What's the trip like? Because obviously you've been to Russia, it didn't go your way. Having to come home after a loss and it's such a long flight as well. Surely that's not good for a boxer.
No, actually my last fight wasn't in Russia. My last fight was in Delhi. It was a good fight. I think I fought my utmost post. I think from now going onwards, I think me and my trainer are only working on wins. We've managed the mentality of losing. We've managed the mentality of us getting stepped out because our main focus is to now go for the SA title. We've been watching Tools' move. We'll be watching what Tulani wants to do next. If anything else, we are going for him. We do want nothing that's going to mess that up for us.
Well, it looks like, Tools will be most probably campaigning internationally. If we look at him, he's just beaten Jabulani McKenzie, big result for him. For you, maybe it's a bit unrealistic to maybe look at Tools, maybe a vacant title if Tools chooses to vacate?
If that's the thing, if Tools chooses to vacate, I'm planning to take all the titles to myself.
Is there anyone in mind apart from him that you'd like to fight?
Apart from Tools, I'd like to test myself with Ndwayana. That's a big test for me. I'd like to test myself against him and prove that I'm really the general.
What did you make of his last fight if you watched it?
I watched his last fight. I think he came in the same way he always does into other fights. He prepares himself over too much. I think he becomes into the fight overconfident on the fight. And then if things doesn't go ahead according to his plan, then he tends to get frustrated. I think that's what caused him a lot of losses in his fight.
If you look at the comparison between you two, both he punches, big punches, so you expect some fireworks that night if that fight comes off?
Yeah, well, especially with us, there's both power there. It will only be the competition of speed. That's the only thing. In the welterweight division, I don't think there's no other welterweight who can beat me when it comes to speed. I think that's one aspect that I think I'll make sure that I dominate on the welterweight division.
I wanted to ask, do you think he won that fight against Kuvesa?
Yeah, I think he did his best. There's one thing I know about Kuvesa. Kuvesa is a slow puncher. Kuvesa is a one-hit wonder. He doesn't collect punches. He doesn't have combinations into his punches. So I think Ndwayana did his utmost best to win the fight. Because at the end of the day, you can't win a fight with only two punches all the time. You need to throw combinations a little bit now and then. You need to shake your opponent here and there to see that you are definitely ahead. But for him, I don't think he was sure that he was ahead from the get-go. So he didn't pay attention to the fight. He was there just for the fight, but he wasn't present in the fight.
Would you want to fight someone like Kuvesa?
I think I would fight Kuvesa, but only for something fruitful. If he had a title for in case, then I'll fight Kuvesa. I don't see myself losing against him, as I've just knocked out his sparring partner. So I don't think I'll see myself ever losing to any guy from the Faraday's team. No.
And if a fight for a belt doesn't come off, what would you like if that can't happen? How would you take it if it can't happen?
If that can't happen, yeah, it's been happening. I'll have to take it as a man. South African boxing has taught us one thing, to stay in there and hang in there. So we'll always be hanging in there and hoping for that day that it will finally come.
How tough is boxing as a career?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. If it wasn't for other jobs that you now have to do, because now you are not fighting frequently enough, you're not getting fights as more as you should. You're now forced to like get a second-hand job, and then whenever you're doing the job, you end up not having time for training, you end up not having time for your fights, and then at the end, it destroys your career. That's how a lot of boxers end up quitting from boxing and starting to get a side hustle or do a job, because now trying to live out of boxing is now becoming impossible. Yeah.
And the fact that boxing seems to be coming back now, obviously that must bring a lot of joy to you, because the last 2 years have been tough on everybody.
Been tough, yeah. I think now that everything is coming back into normal, slowly but surely, I think, yeah, everyone is going to come back into the sport now, looking to the people that renewed, the numbers that the boxers that renewed last year. I think everyone is going to come back now, and the government must definitely give us more opportunities. I mean, we are trying to feed families.
Right, and Onke Duku, congratulations on your win. Anything lastly, you want to send a thank you, a shout out to anybody?
No, I just want to say thank you to my trainer, OBC fam, thank you guys. To my family at home, thank you guys.
All right, thank you very much for talking to us.
Just thank you very much, champ. Yeah, sweet.